I'm just gonna reshove sixes here. Oh. Here's an interesting spot. We opened queens, and I was certainly... It's like a similar spot as I had against this guy, where I sucked him out with... Or I won the flip, so I'm going to 4-bet and then call it off. And ace king off, I'm just going to fold against the bet. And if he jams, I'm in. Interesting flop. I'm gonna bet very small. I'm gonna bet my entire range. I have all the ace kings. We block king queen, which is very good. He can have jacks, tens, nines that he decides to play very cautiously. So yeah, I'm just going to bet very, very small with my entire range, and then I'm going to check most turns. If he jams, I'm gonna stack off, because I think ace king is 4-bet shoving pre-flop. Aces could be possible. He could be shoving something like 8s, 9s, 10s, jacks, so... yeah, okay, good luck us. Wow. King 10 suited. Alright, we're gonna rebuy. That's a very, very bad jam, because he's basically just folding out all my bluffs. And yeah, I'm stacking off with like ace king, king queen, if I decide to 4-bet bluff these hands. So I have some 4-bet bluffs as well, of course, like king jack type of hands, king 10 suited type of hands. And but you definitely don't want to be calling 4-bets with king 10 suited. Like, call pre-flop, or yeah, then fold against the 4-bet, because against my 4-bet value range. Here I bet the flop, I bet the turn, and I'm going to bet the river and fold against the shove. It's a very bad river, but I think he can have 10x, he can have 2 pairs, he can have weaker sets, and if he jams, I have an easy fold. It's the very bottom of my betting range. Yeah. He just has a very weak flush. Oh, here's going to be a bounty hunting spot. Ace queen off, and we face a reshove for 22 big blinds. It's very often going to be ace king and a strong pair, but also ace jack suited could be in his range, or ace jack off. And we hope to win this one. This is a $500 bounty, and we take this one very happily. I think it's a in the bounty tournament it's fine to rejam, because I'm going to be calling hands like king jack, king queen suited as well, so he actually has very okay equity against my range. In a freeze out I would not be reshoving. It's because there's so many people behind that can wake up with a hand. And we are going to call and hopefully see a decent flop. Yeah, we go with it. With the bounty in play, even if he has an overpair, and I'm happily to get it in with 5 outs. And he can still have flush draws, he can still have ace kings that he decides to... He has ace queen, bet calls the flop, but unfortunately gets there. Yeah, if he thinks I'm getting it in with, I don't know. We're just going to jam here, pocket tens. Actually, yeah, it's a mix between jamming and raising. That's brutal. We need a 10. I think it wouldn't have mattered if he 3-bet or if he would have jammed right away.
People always told me I wouldn't. Well, think again. We getting sick of it. Everybody been spitting it. Mama love words like your mouth has got a dick in it. Like, oh my, someone on the go mad. I'm just going in, trying to manage, yeah, I'm mad. I feel the greatest, and I know every other rapper probably playing my latest. Like, how did he make this? I really fucking wanted to hate this, and man, he's taking all the fans. Pretty soon I'll be famous, and I don't think that it's fair. But really, you don't compare. Just look in the mirror, you're saying shit that we don't care. You rap dummies never get it. That's why you ain't here. Now stop debating who the best when the answer is clear. That's real. I'm just on a new way.
Ben, what is your average buy-ins for Sunday? Oh, we go for another bounty. Let's go this time. Ace Queen? Nope. Doesn't look good. But we still have a very good stack. Cover a couple of players on the table. Usually I would fold ace-2 soft, but there was a min raise in the call and it's a Sunday main. I don't know both, so I think even if it's slightly minus with the pre-flop, I'll be able to make up post-flop, since I give myself a decent post-flop edge. And we're just going to check raise and try to play for stacks here. Would I be bluffing here? It would be very high equity hands, and yeah. And I'm also going to size it up because I think he's barely folding an ace on the turn. So, and then the stack to pot ratio is going to be so much that he, like 14k, like now he has to pay 6k, and I think he's never folding against that sizing. Unless he has a better 2-pair, but it's more often ace-king. I think ace-5, ace-7 also very often pot controls. And if you had a flush draw, we got maximum value from him. So, ace-jack. Okay, that's a hand you that's what I mean, that I think that I get paid out from hands that are supposed to be folding. Like, he should just fold the turn, because he blocks the jack and diamonds, so he's probably just a fun player. And we extract maximum value here and double up on the Sunday Million. Here I'm just going to bet the flop small. It's probably more often a check on this board because he has all these deuce x, 3x in his check back range, and we're not completing too many of those. You should probably also have all 4 or 5x. Going to check the turn. It's actually a very bad card for our range, even though it's good for our hand now, but there are just too many hands we have to give up. Once he checks back, we can bet very, very big. I think we can overbet the river. I think he shouldn't be having so many flush draws in his range, and really target his 3x and king highs. And we get the call. So, yes, wow, he has a naked king high without any blockers. We bet the turn. I think, yeah, we open raised and check flop. I think we have to check forward. We have to check forward. It's just really hard for him to have a lot of bluffs here, so. Here we call from the small blind. I think that this hand wants to against the sizing. I'm gonna call once. Against a small sizing, I would have raised. Vamos. Hey, Maxuflux, thanks for the subscription. Really appreciate it. And I mean, we make runner quads. So let's fucking go. Yeah, I will just value bet the river. Against a small sizing, I would have check raised this hand with a very high frequency because he has all the jack tens, queen jacks that he's value betting with. Playing a hand against Tonka, I think. It's Tonka, right? Yeah. I'm gonna check back this flop. That's a good river. I think we can all value bet. Only afraid of jacks tens. I think something like a 9 or jack tens might also be start. Delayed betting on the turn. Okay, against the overbet I'm folding. Also, he bets rather fast. If you know when you bet pot, like he's not overbetting, but when you bet pot, you need to think about it. And you just don't snap overbet with like it would be good, but yeah, I just don't think it's gonna be a winning play in the long run. He still has jacks tens to a certain frequency, a 9. He couldn't even be very greedy with pocket eights. We see bet this board. We get a raise. It kind of sucks because like against queen 10 we're dead. King jack jack 8 we have 4 outs for a full house. But I think it's just too strong. Like he can be messing around with a king or jack. It's a Sunday million. He can have queen jack, queen a, king queen. So I just go for that. Yeah, that's really bad. Top tall is in the big blind. I don't think he will adjust to my sizings too much, so I'm going to open raise close to 3x. Starting stack in the milli is I think 10k, yeah. And we get the kings here, and we certainly call it off with no, okay, no, we can easily fold. And we would have made him nut flush. What can you do? Aces against giraffe. And we just fold the 10-7 off here. And we just call his race. Hopefully he's punting it off. And his jack 8 offsuited. Was it value or bluff? Anyway, so we have the queens here, and we just get it in. Of course, he will always call, and we're back. Something's been telling me that all my scheming ain't solo. Up in here dolo. I see the new competition, but I am the one in the polo. Oh no, something is different about me. Something is different, but somehow it works. I've been out living up all of my dreams, they down in the dirt. But then why does it hurt? I need another who can take it Opening the ace-3 suited. Oh, we flop. We turn the straight again. What is all about this min donking here today? I don't get it. Okay, of course we raise our straight here. Lots of draws possible. So.
Something tells me that there's more at stake. I'm trying to catch up a quarter late. When something happens, I need to confide. Unleash everything that I see that's inside. I speak to myself, but nothing's alive. I'm losing my drive. When I'm alone, it's so hard to survive. And that's why it's me in the gutter. Oh, what a bummer. Now you can listen to me in the summer. I hear them saying I
and we just jam the river for value. And here we have to call an all-in. King 8 off. He will be shoving very wide. King or 8. Nope. He gets our bounty. Can we rebuy? Nope. And he calls with pocket sixes. Yeah, thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll take it. I'm gonna 3-bet here the Queen Jack suited from the earliest position. And here I'm just gonna shove my Ace 10 off.
Maybe I just got some issues. I give my attention to miscues. My mama says all of my raps about me, but it's hard when I only got this view. Humans who don't really count as the fakes. Moving too fast and I'm pumping the brakes.
Here we have the Sunday warm-up now on the bottom right, where we are already in the money. Let's make the felt color red. I'm gonna check back here. Don't wanna build too big of a pot. That's great. I'm definitely gonna bet quite big because all his ace 10s, or if he has ace king, queen, king, queen, queen 10s, I think they will call very often against one bet. And here, pocket sevens, wow, he check jams. Oh. I'm really afraid it's too often a straight or like. I think draws would just bet himself, right? Like, I just don't see how. I mean, he's not jamming ace 10 in spades. Like, he's just calling or betting himself. 10-9, it's just one or two combos eventually. Like. Nasty spots. That could be interesting here actually. I think if Cool just calls, I'm gonna shove over the top. If he jams himself, it gets really dicey. Okay, now there's so much dead money, I'm just gonna go for it. Like, it's very likely that there sometimes is a trap, but like, it's just too much dead money. Well, we just need to hold. Nope. This would have been very sweet. I really like his rejam as well. This is really weird. I mean, he jams 2.5 big blinds. I think we have to call, but the problem is that button can go fucking bananas here in this spot and apply a lot of pressure against us.
Take it all in on your stride. It is sinking, falling rough forever. Love is free. Let's turn forever. You and me. Melvin, Mel for that land. Is everybody in?
I think turn we have to step. I'm also gonna bet relatively big. I think our hand is now very strong. I think that on the turn that Ha owned or deuce of deuce, like he would have started betting pretty much everything. And river is very interesting. I mean, we blocked the ace in spades, so it makes it more likely that he has a made hand, but he overcalled spree, so his range is so fucking wide. And we're on the bubble. There's 260k in the middle. I mean, Jack 10s, Queen 10s. There's so much 7x, 5x. I think I'm going to check to him and let him bluff. Like, even if he goes all in, I really don't see myself folding. Yeah, and we have an easy catch. And he has King 9 off, which I think is a little bit too thin to value bet, but then of course the check is really good because we generate EV from his bluffs and also from his thin value bets. 3-betting here the queens and the Sunny Million, and yeah, gonna bet the flop, and I want to set up a stack to pot ratio that allows me to jam turns. So we bet 7.5k, so there's going to be roughly 35,000 in the middle, so we have to size it up a little bit. And here we just keep betting for value. And now we can just jam, especially the jack is good, he has some jack X and hearts, so he has aces. Alright. GG's Sunny Million. That was a pleasure. It was a fun ride. And this guy donk jams. We value bet flop. We value bet turn. He donk jams into us in the river. It's really sad blocking the ace in spades. Blocks a lot of his bluffs. So we just have to fold here. He has all jack 10s, king 10s, queen 10s, 10 9s. It's just a fuckload of 10x. Like, he has to turn something like jack 8 into a bluff or something, which even if he does, we still have to fold. It's just very unfortunate. I 3-bet here the ace 5 suited preflop, and I will go for a second pair on the flop, on the turn. We block ace queen, which is good. We have some outs. Come on, just fold. If he now this is a great river because he has all the ace jack, ace 10 and diamonds, like better draws. He can still call 8s, 9s, 10s on flop and turn. Even something like ace 3, ace 2 suited if he opted to call it pre. So I will certainly bluff jam the river here, tank a bit, which I would also do with my value hands, and then just jam. Another one that trapped me with aces. That's a bit unfortunate, but just sometimes how it is. And here I'm gonna bluff the river with king high on a mono board. We have a lot of spades that play bet check bet. He should be raising a lot of spades on the flop. I think he has a lot of 3x, 4x. Some weak X, Ace X, and here, Queens. We get it in against Ace King. Not meant to be. And the next one that traps me with ace from the big blind. What's going on today? Everyone is playing aces trappy. Interesting. So seems like people enjoy trapping today. Bit easy, bets the flop quite big, bets the turn. Sucks having the 10 in diamonds, but he can still value bet ace 9, ace 8 with a very big sizing. So and he's definitely fucking crazy. The only hands I can imagine he can have is like, I think here we getting it. I mean, here we fold, but here we are getting it in. Or like something like King Jack, King 10 with King and diamonds. It's really pain today. Yeah, King Jack, King 10. Problem is King 10. Like Jack blocks a lot of bluffs as well, and we have a lot of natural flushes, like natural calling hands ourselves. Ace King, Ace Queen. He's raising so big, but okay, I'm gonna get it in pre here. I'm not here to take prisoners. Describes the day very well. But we can rebuy, right? No, we can't. No. Was a quick adventure. Oh, this could be interesting. Come on, Steven, just jam it from the small blind as well. Is there anything else that would make sense? No, we just jam, of course. I think everything else would make no sense, and I think bit too easy should probably call his entire range. Like there's just too much so much overlay and bounties in the middle. Yeah, even Queen Jack off, he probably has to call. It looks really good. That looks really good. Bounty plus doubling up. Let's go, boys. Let's go. I don't want to say chase, but let's try to turn it around. Flopping a decent pair here. Going for a check raise. I want to do a mix between betting and check raising. I have also a lot of hands that don't really connect with this board at all. And I expect a lot of his 6s, 7s, 8s are going for a step. And I'm going to bet small the turn, and then we jam the river. Here we have to call flop and turn. And we jam our remaining 3 big blinds with ace queen off. He plays bet, bet, bet. Oh, we get 2 calls. Quads. Here we just jam for value. I had 2 decisions to make. And
Vamos.
get the full payout. This is nasty. Like, I don't think he's jamming ace king. I don't think he's jamming ace queen. He's representing so little. Like, he has all the flush draws. Is he really raising all? Like, ace 3 is checking back, like ace 4 is checking back, flop or turn. We block aces, like deuces. His value range is so narrow. I think I'm gonna call. Ace 8 off. Wow, he raises ace 8 off from under the gun. Well, it feels like sometimes you have to look them up. So bluffy in these spots as we might think. And he might, if the moment he gives up some flush draw, what the fuck? All right, let's go. Rejamming the ace check suited here. Do we? No, we don't win the side pot. Flatting the king queen here, small rivers under the gun. Prefer being more suited when being so deep. Going for the check raise on the turn. And we shove the 7s, and I'm gonna raise here very big. And I'm most likely going to bet pretty much every single river, especially this one. And we're getting called with the 7s against a6. It's not meant to be. GG Sunny 500. Oh really? He jams the river. He really trapped the nut flush. What? Ace queen spades. Oh, I mean, yeah, he's probably just trapping with the nut flush. Our pair's counterfeited. I think I'm just gonna jam the river here. Like, I have so many 7x and 6x. He doesn't. And I think if it's an overpair, is the only sizing to make him fold. Or he just calls ace high. Getting fucking wrecked today. Like, that's definitely not good. But I'm also shoving my overpair, my boats there, so it's all good. We get some decent hands in the high roller cooldown. I'm definitely gonna 3-bet here. Like, bit too easy will be open raising super wide, and I think he knows that I know that, and so I'm going to 3-bet to like less than 4x. I think he has so much trash in his range that this sizing is totally fine against his range. And when he 4-bet jams, we have an easy call. Like us. Yeah, just... But we can rebuy. That's a good thing. And here we have an easy call with our jacks. He rejams 6-4 off and flops the straight. What the fuck? Oh my god. What just happened? He just fucking rejams 6-4 off. The second guy that likes to... What's going on here? Like, all right, 8s we go.
Sometimes I admit I'm a mess. Fuck other rappers, you fuck with the best. Care more about your morals and buying a dress. Care more about your life than the life.
Unfortunately, he wakes up with 9s.
Something that's been over my head. Or if I do it again, and me, I'm no more than a tourist supporting a friend.
And yeah, we're just 4-bit jamming this hand. It's a perfect spot, that's what you want. 4-bit jamming with ace king, with full equity. Even if he calls with decent equity.
Like one last time and a change, I swear. Please, oh my God, let me stay alive. I'll never put a needle in my veins, I swear. Couldn't even count how many times that she had to make that deal. Got demons in the backseat creeping up, never let him take that wheel.
And we got the queens. And I think we can go broke against everyone. Unless, let's say, there's some weird 3-bet code 4-bit shoving happening. Then we might reconsider it, but... really like to see a reshove. Alright, let's go. We take it. Our first bounty, guys. Let's go. I think his rejam is really good. I like it. It's a great play. Just very unlucky that he didn't work out. That's pretty good. Oh my god, guys, we have to go with that one, I think. Fortunately, we don't cover him, but this bounty is too big. Like, he will ISO shove so wide when he bigs. Yeah, I think he will shove pretty much any pair. He might be trapping with some aces, kings, queens, so... And also he snaps. Like, I don't think he would be snapping with aces or kings. Ace 4 off. That was a good one. I think he should be just calling ace 4 off there. I think I'm gonna 3-bet here to isolate. So let's get a 10. Let's just get a 10 on the river. Oh, really? Splitting again? Or not splitting, but I mean, kind of fucks my image, but I think it was a good spot. I mean, now we have an easy call against button. Kaboom! Another 4K. And jacks. I mean, we're definitely also willing to play for stacks here. This guy is just fucking crazy. Going to bet small, definitely get a lot of value from ace size, 3x, 5x. Don't want to make it too big, but 1/4 is fine, just to protect, get some thin value. And then checking most turns. And we can easily call a raise. If he checks the turn, I'm going to bet small. If he fires, I'm probably folding because 6-4 gets there, and also his semi-bluffs are like 5-7, 3-7 suited, like guy is just so fucking crazy. Promise, I don't think he has king 3 or king 5 off that often, so I'm gonna call once more and forward the river. Eight, 9 diamonds.
Still won't heal the ones that keep fucking cutting you.
Time slows down for no one. This life isn't for everyone. I want to be someone.
Oh, we call it.
Stand my ground till my feet.
And I think if he bets, we go with this one on the flop. He can even bet call like queen jack, jack 9. Oh, check back is fine as well. I take the check back. And on the river we can bluff catch. If he checks, we can probably even value bet. Maybe he has a random 7. I was just about to say I think I'm gonna call because he was snap checking all the streets. I think he's just on tilt. Like, I think it's a decent bluff catcher. Like if he's low playing 9-6 or something. That's a strong check raise. That was a nice hand. Give him some credits. I'm just gonna reshove 6s here. Oh, 7. Alright guys, that's it, GG. I think pretty happy. Sometimes have some tough hands. I have no idea how much I cashed actually. 31k. I mean, of course it sucks always losing heads up bounty, but nothing we can do. So I think we turned it into a profitable session today, which I'm really happy with after it started so horrible. And remember, this was a tournament where we reboard with, I don't know, 10 big blinds with a short bullet. So yeah.